Welcome back.
Hi.
To another episode of our podcast. Today's episode is different parenting styles, especially between the two of us.
Yep.
And what we agree and don't agree with. And stuff my boyfriend, the peanut gallery over there, does not agree with.
I think me and Eric are more on the same page than you and Eric are on the same page of parenting. But with that being said, I think she's an amazing parent and I think she's doing an amazing job.
I don't have a parenting style. I wasn't allowed to parent when my kids were growing up.
She has a parenting style.
Yeah, it's called coddling. Your parenting style is coddling.
It wasn't coddling. Every time I tried to discipline the kids, I was doing it wrong. And I was told I was doing it wrong in front of the kids.
I don't know what to say.
When I decided I was going to hit the kids, it wasn't right to hit the kids. Because that reason wasn't right.
I don't think you should hit the kids.
Discipline.
Who's that coming from?
I'm sorry. You know what?
I got my ass beat growing up.
When I was raising my children,
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of things that I don't agree with now. I did. I was a very toxic parent because I was raised by a toxic parent. But as I got older, I realized and I did better. I tried to do better. So I'm trying to help you do better than what we did. And I think you're doing an amazing job.
I don't beat my kids, but when they need to
No.
get hit, they get hit.
Okay.
Oliver just needs to get hit a little bit more than all the other kids right now.
I don't think you need to hit the kid to discipline the kid.
He's not understanding anything else at 2 years old.
Yes, but by you smacking him in the hand or whatever, saying no, smacking him in the hand, he's learning to hit. And then he's getting hit because he hits, but he's hitting because you hit. So it's
Absolutely
it's a
not.
back and
He's
forth.
hitting less now that I smack his hand than he did before.
Okay. Agree to disagree, but I don't think you should hit the kid. Oliver doesn't understand. I agree with you there. I don't know what we're gonna do with Oliver. Oliver's a special child.
Preach.
We're going to go head to head, but I'm the one that's going to win. So he's going to have to get over it.
Yeah. But it doesn't take away from that he's a special child.
I don't know that part.
And this next one is gonna be even worse.
Oh, I don't think this next one's going to be worse. Oliver's going to get worse when this next one gets here.
We'll see.
I think Oliver's jealousy is going to get the best of him and get the best of everyone else.
We'll see. In parenting, I think the children need structure and they need chores, whether they're going to get paid for or not get paid for. They need chores. They need responsibility so that they can grow up and be functioning adults. And I think that's the only place that we don't agree in. I mean, coming from a Latin household, no sleepovers, ever. No, go over your friend's house, no shit like that. And I mean, the way society is now, I agree with like no sleepovers. I mean, your kids are practically adults, so I don't.
And they had their
so
first
much
sleepover this year.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't so much like, no, you can't have a sleepover. But as they were younger, with the way things are today, I still stand by that, and you do too.
Yeah, I don't agree with sleepovers.
Yeah, I mean, you never know who the person is. But, and thank God you don't have a girl, because there's a lot of stuff for girls that I think, don't agree on.
Like?
No, that you and I
Like?
agree on that we don't agree
Gotcha.
on other people.
Yeah.
So thank God
I
we
think
don't have
there's
a
a
girl.
lot of things that society now
Sees okay.
sees okay with girls, and I just feel like Let them be kids.
Yeah, let them be kids as long as they can. But even boys too. I mean, I don't agree that, and yes, it's being hypocritical, but I don't agree that they should be on their video games all day long.
Okay.
I think they need to be doing stuff. And if they don't want to do it, too bad. Suck it up, buttercup. Do it.
Yeah.
But I think they need chores. I think they need, stuff to do. I think they need to be pushed to do stuff that even if they don't want to.
Okay. So growing up, them growing up, not me growing up. Whenever I tried to get them off the time of their video games, when I'm home, fine, that's great. But then when I'm not home, when the rule is not upheld by, and I know your famous line, you're not the parent, and that's great, but unfortunately, when I'm not home, you are the
Parent.
power at B.
I was, yes.
So if you do not upkeep the rule that I put down when I'm not at home, because I'm getting home at 11 o'clock at night and they're already sleeping, do you see where the tug and pull comes in?
I think, okay, so with that,
Or even with chores.
when they became on the computer and on the phone, was when they moved up here.
No, even before that they were doing it.
No,
they
because
had their
when
iPads.
we were, yes, but they weren't on it all the time. When we were down south, there was a time that they did sports. And then when they didn't do the sports, that's when they got somewhat sick. And we had them lose all that weight.
Yeah.
So we were outside all the freaking time. And we had the pool, and they were outside in the pool, and they were, the cousins would come over every freaking weekend, so they were always doing something.
Yeah.
Yes,
And when
they were on their iPads, but I think it all went to shit when you moved up here.
No, because when I moved up here,
When you moved up here, they didn't have a phone or anything until I had to leave.
right?
And you were with them alone, so then you had to get them the phone.
Right.
And then that year, we got them the computer for Christmas. Your father got them the computer for Christmas. And that's when they started being more, because they didn't have a computer till then.
Okay, but that's all fine.
But that's what I'm saying
and
is...
then you left to Virginia,
Right.
and they were not allowed to be on their computers and had to be outside to the point that, or had to be hanging out with the kids around the neighborhood to the point that Ernesto would get pissed off because they were always metido in our house.
Yes. But there came a point that it was like, okay, we don't want to do sports. Okay, then you're not going to do sports because you don't want to do sports.
They didn't do sports because I was broke.
Okay, whatever the reason. I mean, you could have said, hey, put him in sports for me. I'll pay you back. You could have done that, but ego or whatever you want to call it, it didn't happen for whatever reason. Then it became more easy. When I finally moved back here, I got a job and I was working. You were working. So it was just, they're home alone. Do you, boo. And that's what they did. And it just became so much easier. And I'm not saying it's your fault 100%, but it just became easier. It became easier for us. So we just were like, you know what? It's easier. And I think that is a problem for a lot of parents.
Okay.
And then this is the issue that we create. We have a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old that if anything were to happen and they had to go out into society, they wouldn't be able to survive.
So I think they would.
No, they wouldn't.
I think they would, and they know how to do things. They just don't do them because it's done for them.
That is exactly what the fuck I said.
Yes, they know how to do it.
Coddle. They need to experience because the world is going to chew them the fuck up, and the world doesn't wait for nobody. You protecting them and taking care of them, you can still protect and take care, but you need to let them experience. Because without experience, they're going to crash and burn.
Okay, experience what?
I think
Life.
What?
Go the fuck
I
out.
think they need to get off the computers.
Go out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do things. Get.
You bought the go-karts to do.
To
And
build.
I'm not talking about now because the garage is occupied.
Mhm.
Before the garage was occupied,
Mhm.
you used that go-kart to get away from in here when you are annoyed.
Yeah.
Because then I send Dominic out there to help you. Oh, he doesn't need help.
He had no interest.
He actually had interest.
Dominic had interest.
Yes.
He
He
had
was very
interest.
excited.
He's excited to use it.
No, he was
But the
excited
bill-
to do it, but he doesn't. If he doesn't know how to do
You
it,
are if you don't give him
Yeah.
direction, he's not going to know what to do. I am sorry. They had very minimal male input in their lives up until now. So
That's-
unless you give him direction,
That's the thing. You're not always going to get direction. So you need to figure it out yourself sometime.
okay. He is 15. You are an adult.
Oh, now we're gonna go. All right, I'm gonna leave right now.
he is 15 and he is smart enough that he could figure it out if he wanted to figure it out. But it was supposed, from what I heard, to be a group project.
Yes. But every time Dominic goes out there,
He went out one time.
twice because I sent him out there and I stopped sending him out there because you keep sending him back.
One time.
Anyway,
Every time I send him out, oh, he says he doesn't need help. Okay. And with the swing set for the baby, go help Eric build the swing set. He goes out there. He got off of his game, like he canceled whatever he was doing and everything. And then he comes back in and he's like, oh, Eric says he doesn't need help.
yes, because he just stands there and looks at
They got a
Eric.
face.
Yes.
They don't want to be there. I'm like, you know what? You don't want to be here. Then go. I'm not gonna sit here and
He-
be miserable to get me miserable.
He
No.
completely got out of his game because he's like, well, it's going to take a minute, so let me close my game out. And he went out there. And then he came back in and he's like, oh, he doesn't want me to help him. I'm like, okay.
Look, I think you guys need to get him off, both of them, and they do need to do stuff. And look, even today, after you told him yesterday, the day before, whenever, he was like, "Do you need us to put away the groceries?"
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you
because I
need-"
bitched.
I know, but again, they're
We
not.
got- We got
Even
home
adults,
yesterday.
even there's some adults that you still have to tell them exactly what
Oh, I
you want,
know.
the way you want it.
I know.
Even adults, it just happens. You're gonna get that, but you just have to be consistent with it, and eventually they will get it. Eventually they will get it. I mean, I think your toughest problem, honestly, is not Oliver. I think your toughest problem is going to be Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
I think Adrian is going to be like,
Oh, he already
once
is.
he starts getting into his feelings.
Here it is.
He really hasn't
He's
really
already
gotten.
starting.
He's starting, but I think Dominic is not going to give you an issue. I think
Dominic typically
Adrian
doesn't
is
give me an
going to
issue.
give you an issue. I think Adrian has been let. It's wrong to say, but I think Adrian has been let off the leash too long. I think it's time to reel him in, unfortunately. And that's going to be a big issue. But with that being said, I do think that children in general need structure. They need chores. They need, shit like that for them to actually be able to function. I know people that have kids and their kids are like, oh my God. And they make excuse for their kids. You have to stop making excuses for your children. I remember you as an example, when you were a teenager and you weren't doing good in school, your father, oh my God, that man, every time we went to a parent-teacher conference, he would cry. He would cry the whole ride home. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong as a parent. Dude, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. You have to let them take responsibility. If she's doing wrong, you don't do shit for it. Don't make excuses for your children. Everybody knows what they have. I love my children, but my children are assholes. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Shit, I like the way I am.
I love
think
my
I'm
children.
perfect.
I don't know. I love my children, but that doesn't take it away.
I'm perfect, even with my asshole ways.
She takes after me.
What was that, babe?
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say anything.
But I do think you're an amazing parent. I think I was very toxic as a parent. And I regret a lot of the choices I made as a parent. I think I could have made better choices now looking back. And I've tried to better myself. And you guys hate it because you guys are always like, you never did that with me? What? You didn't treat us like that. Who is this woman?
Because you're soft with your grandkids.
It's not that I'm soft. There's
You
different.
are.
No, as you get older and you raise more children, you realize there's different ways to go around it.
Right, but then they also know what they can get away with you that they can't get away with
Everybody
me.
is going to get away. And at the end of the day, as much as you don't like it, I'm not the parent. I am the grandparent. So
100%. My whole argument was your whole thing was always, I'm the grandparent, I spoil them and send them back to mom and dad. But there's no sending them back to mom and dad.
but there was going to be.
When?
At some point, there was going to be. You were on your own for
15 and 16 years later.
It doesn't matter, but you were on your own for some time. And the only reason I spoil my grandchildren the way I do as a grandparent, I can say, which is cliche and I've heard it a million times, but it is 100% true. We live you guys again through them. So whatever mistakes we feel that we did with you guys, we're trying to better it with them. And that's why we act the way we are with them.
Okay.
Because you know what? That extra, I'll give you this, or you want McDonald's, or you want something to eat, or something. You can never take that back. And time is too short. You don't know,
It's so
So why?
traumatizing having to eat rice and beans instead of white rice alone. So traumatizing. Oh, God.
It is not about eating rice and beans or white rice alone. One doesn't like beans. He likes white rice. The other one likes beans. So one gets white rice, the other one gets rice and beans.
That's a problem.
I don't see that as a
You
problem.
make 9-course meals. My house, if you ate what was cooked, you didn't like it, you don't eat.
Hold on, that was my house too.
Again,
Is that a
life is
restaurant?
too short.
It changed when it became grandchildren.
I can't do this.
You know what?
You guys are stressing me out.
My view on it is, I'm not gonna be around, so I want them to remember the best of me.
Are you going to the room? Are you going to the room?
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm going out to smoke a cigarette.
You got him frustrated.
Me?
Just like that's the reason. Life is too short, and you learn that as you get older.
Life is too short, so I'm not going to make my grandkids eat things that they don't want.
No, if it's not a problem for me, because I don't have the stress that I had when you guys were little. I don't have a problem cooking 2 different things. If I had a problem with it, I wouldn't do it. But because I don't have a problem with it, I don't mind doing it. The whole thing with the way they look, whether it's a boy or a girl, or the way they dress. I have a problem with the pants showing their underwear. Why do you have to do that? To me, that's disrespectful and it's ugly. And I know it's a style.
The kids don't dress like that.
No, but
Oh.
I'm just saying different, as a parent, no, you're with me, you're going to dress a certain way. And even if it's a girl, if you're wearing Hoochie Mama shorts and you're wearing a crop top and we're going out, no, you need to change. I don't care. You're dressing appropriate to your age.
Yes. I
It's
agree with
not,
that part.
we go out on a Sunday to eat or whatever. You can wear jeans, but dress appropriate.
Yes.
You don't have to wear dress pants, but dress appropriate. You can dress nice. You don't have to wear a raggedy ass shirt or a shirt that's 5 sizes too big, or a girl that's shirt that's 5 sizes too small. You don't need that. You're gonna have plenty of time for that. You don't need that now.
Those are things that I didn't understand growing up that you enforced on me, was the whole no makeup thing until I got to high school, and was never allowed to get acrylics until I became an adult. I don't think I would go to the extreme if I ever had a girl that you're not allowed to get acrylics until you're an adult, but maybe in high school, and makeup in high school. So I did not agree with it growing up, because obviously it was happening to me and I wanted to wear the makeup and get the acrylics.
You weren't allowed till you were 15.
I was still in high school.
But I know girls today that are in elementary school and they're getting makeup and they're getting their hair done.
And that's what I'm saying.
And they're
that
getting acrylics.
Now that I'm a parent, now that I'm an adult, because I don't have a daughter, so I can't speak on it per se, but now that I'm an adult, I see why you did it. These are things that, and I didn't notice it when I was a kid, they're things that make you feel more mature. Nails make you feel like you're older than what you are. Not now. Now I get my nails done and whatever, I don't care. I have my nails done, I get them done because I like them. But as a teenager, oh, I got my nails done, I feel older now. I got makeup on, I feel older now. I was able to get my hair done, I feel older now. And then they're going to reflect that because that's how they're going to act.
Of course.
And the
And then they
same
get
thing
in
with
trouble.
their clothes, yes. So I didn't see it then, but those are things that I would implement on my, if I ever have a daughter, on her now. And it sucks because a lot of parents nowadays don't implement that. So they're going to be the oddball of the group.
Yes.
And they're going to be the only girl not wearing crop tops, the only girl not having nails, the only girl not having makeup, the only girl having virgin hair until they get to high school. And I don't necessarily agree with the way girls in high school dress right now either. And everybody's parenting style is different. You guys can agree to whatever you guys want to agree. Just, I don't agree with it for my child.
No. But
I didn't see it back then. Back then I was like, oh, this bitch is just trying to control me.
and it's funny because I took a child to get her nails done, and you were like,
Getting acrylics. She's 11.
she ain't my child.
No, I know.
And
I
the
know.
father
100%.
said,
I
take
know.
her.
100% I know. But I'm saying they're in, what is that? That's not even middle school yet.
She's 5th grade.
Yeah, exactly. That's elementary school.
Yeah.
But it just makes them feel a different way, having their nails done, having their hair done, doing their makeup. And look, every child is different. Every personality is different. There's some children that mature faster than others. And for all I know, my child's going to be an immature little girl all through high school, and she'll never get nails and makeup in high school either.
But the way society
I was
is
goofy and immature.
No, you tried.
I know, I tried.
You tried. You would come home with one eye with makeup and
Or
Alyssa, did you put on makeup? No.
wipe it off and it was still on my waterline.
Uh-huh. It's like,
Because you can't
you
get
don't
the water
know
line.
how to take off your makeup, girl. No. Just like,
But I mean, they're always going to try.
I think I was your parent when you growing up. I try to be your friend to a certain degree.
Right. And I agree
But
with
I
this.
think I was your parent more.
I agree with that.
As you got older, I became your friend. I'm still your parent, but I consider myself more of your friend.
I think as an adult, we became friends. I think that you considered us more open than what we actually were before I became an adult.
Yes.
Because
again, we're looking at it 2 different views.
But no, I think, so I wasn't as open with you when I was a kid as you thought I was.
Yeah. But I think
Because
that's normal.
no matter how much you say,
I was
you
always your
can
parent.
tell me anything.
Yeah, I'm going to be your parent.
Exactly.
Unless you're one of these parents that want to be the best friends and then you forget you have to parent sometimes.
But it's like Adrian and Dominic. Like, it doesn't matter how much I tell them, oh, you can tell me anything. They don't tell me everything. There's a lot they don't tell me.
You should be glad.
No, and I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. And a lot of it also has to do with I'm female and they're male.
Yes.
And I'm sure they feel uncomfortable talking to me about certain things. And it's funny because the things that you would think that they feel uncomfortable talking to me about, they don't feel uncomfortable talking to me about, which I'm perfectly fine with. And I've always told them and taught them, like, if it's something that you feel uncomfortable talking to me about, just know that I'm going to approach those type of things in a nursing way, not a mother way. Like, I don't want you to not come to me and you have a problem going on that you don't know how to fix. In your private areas, or you're feeling a certain way that you don't think is right and not want to tell me because you're embarrassed. Like, know when it comes to things like that, I'm going to approach it as a nurse, not as a mom.
Yeah.
And then maybe later as a mom. But
I don't know. I think, again, I don't think in that sense you have any issues with your kids.
no. But I know that there's a lot of things that they won't tell me.
Yes, but that's
perfectly
normal.
fine. And that's
Yeah,
normal
that's
because
normal.
I am, again, their parent.
Yes.
And there's still things that they do tell me. And whatever they feel comfortable telling me, they can.
Yeah. But, and I mean, even with Oliver, that he's the youngest right now. I think he needs a little more, not discipline per se, but a little more stability. Like today, I'll give you the perfect example. He was crying and he was having a fit because you and I were cooking and he wanted to be in the kitchen and
His
Eric took
fit
him.
was that Eric took him.
Yes.
Eric carried him and,
And
literally even
moved
though
him out of the
Eric did
area.
even though he did not want Eric to take him, Eric grabbed him and took him.
And put him in a different area.
So he had a fit.
He did, but he did not cry. He was just whining, crying.
Oh no, he was
No,
Okay.
he was whining, crying. He was like not tear crying, like screaming, whining,
whatever.
crying.
He threw
was
a
having
fit.
a fit.
He threw a fit.
And Eric stood his
Whether
ground.
he was crying or not.
And Eric stood his ground. And Eric was like, "You're not moving, and stop crying. And
But
you're
Eric
not moving
normally
until you
doesn't-
stop crying."
Eric normally doesn't have a problem standing his ground.
But
Eric has countless of times
I
sat him down
understand
in the high chair.
But I'm not saying that Eric does. What I'm saying is I think that Oliver needs more of that. I think that Oliver needs more of that because, you know, whacking him and being like, "Hey, don't do that," or whatever. He's not understanding that. For some reason, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed right now. Compared to the others, which you shouldn't be comparing, but he's a little slow at the comprehension.
I don't think he's slow. I just think he's stubborn.
Yeah, we
I
can
don't
call
know
it
where he gets that from.
whatever it is. I think, unfortunately, as bad as this sounds, and don't come after me for this, but you need to break him. You need to break his spirit a little bit to create him back again, but not in a bad way.
He's getting more of it. The other day, I put him on timeout on the couch when hitting didn't work, babe.
Yeah.
And then every time he got up and cried, I just sat him back down.
Yeah.
So he's getting more of it.
Okay, and that's all I'm saying, that he needs more of that. He needs more.
Eric has something to say.
Talk to him.
He needs that. But in the same token, both of you need to stand your ground because you'll discipline him. And when he's done crying, 2 seconds later, it's come here, baby, and you're all hugs and
But
cuddles.
he's done.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, but we're not going to stop showing him
Love and affection.
and affection.
Yes.
It's
love
like
and affection.
we had this conversation before. We are women. We are nurturers.
Yes, but at the same time, he thinks to get that, all he has to do is cry. So he'll scream just to get that.
So wait. I did notice, because I haven't been I've been in my house. We're no longer together. But I did notice that he is throwing himself on the floor.
Because he wants one of you to
Because he
come
wants
by.
one. And like he'll
pick him
throw
up.
himself on the floor and be like, ah, ah. And then he'll look back like, are
Who's
you coming?
coming to get me?
Ah,
Yep.
And then he'll do it again. And I
Who
even
goes
asked,
to get him.
no, we didn't get him.
We
No.
didn't, but he's like,
Yeah.
he does. He
I haven't
want-
seen him do
he
that.
After
wants
we
that
didn't do
attention.
it, he did it again, and then he was like, "Okay, you guys aren't coming. I'm getting up," and he went to do something.
No, I haven't seen him do that.
But
But Eric and I normally ignore him when he's on the floor crying.
But I have to say, when I've taken him to my house, he's not like that.
When you've taken him to your house and he comes back after even a day.
But he does not act like that in my house. He acts like that the moment that we're all together. It's like, okay, who am I going to
gonna
go?
put these motherfuckers against
and that's
themselves.
exactly what he's doing.
Against
Because,
each other.
but he
That's
knows,
exactly what he
knows
does.
what he can get away with.
With each
who.
one, yes.
With who?
Yes. He is very, in that sense, he is very smart. In that sense, he is very smart. But again, he knows because he'll be with me. He doesn't cry. And if I tell him, hey, no, he's like, okay, fine. You know, he leaves it alone.
Let's be honest, Mom. With you, he doesn't get a chance to cry.
I don't make him cry.
No.
Nobody makes them cry.
Come here, Poochie Poochie.
We just don't give him everything he wants.
Neither do I.
You,
No. Like if he goes to touch stuff in my house, I'll be like, hey, don't touch that.
Yeah, and then he touches it anyway and breaks it because you've told me how many times that he's broken shit in your house.
Again, the time that he broke something in my house, he was unsupervised for a little bit. That was on me. But when I'm with him, he does not. He does not even act like that. He doesn't cry. He doesn't bitch. He doesn't whine. He doesn't do any of that. He sits on the couch and watches Mickey Mouse and bounces and sings, and we go to the park. We go back to the park.
Babe, we're crazy.
Huh?
We're making shit up.
But I know how he is.
No.
Like, when you guys are around, he's a fucking terror.
Yes.
He'll do shit on purpose.
He acts differently here.
Because he
No.
knows.
That's not what he's saying. He acts differently when we
Yes.
are here.
When I'm here with you guys, I see him act differently than when I'm alone with him.
Because he's so in his routine of when you guys live together.
Yes.
He knew, all right, if mommy yells at me, I can go to Mimi, and Mimi's gonna pick me up.
He loves to go tattletale.
So he'll do something, and instantly, used to are button heads, and he's just sitting there. All right, I'm getting glory from Mimi. Now that I'm in the picture, he don't get away with shit. I'll tell him, yo, you're gonna fall. Get down. Don't touch that. What are you doing? What the hell? And yeah, sometimes I get a little angry because it's like, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Like, you don't learn.
He's
No.
2 years old.
I get that. All right, perfect example. The cat box. He got into the cat box. What'd you do?
Beat his ass.
You spanked him, right? Okay, good. Spanked him. The little motherfucker goes right back in there. You just got your ass whipped. Why would you go back in there? Not even 5 minutes later.
Attention span.
I don't have an answer for that.
But when I sit his little ass down, don't move, he's gonna cry, he's gonna try to fight and sit down, sit down, sit down. Now, I'm not hitting you. Hell no.
No.
I will sit there and listen to you cry, and I'll occupy myself while you cry until you shut up.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I don't believe in hitting anymore.
He's getting a mixture because I don't have time to sit there and wait for him to stop crying. I have things to do, unfortunately.
But again, different parenting skills. Some parents believe in no disciplinary, just talking to the child. We have a friend. You cannot discipline a child because if you discipline a child, the child will commit suicide. Because studies have shown that a child that has been disciplined will commit suicide.
So hold on, this means physical discipline or non-physical discipline?
No
So
discipline.
you cannot put them
No.
on timeout. You cannot have
No.
talks with them. You
No.
cannot-
You can talk to them. That's the only discipline.
Right,
is
but it
talking to
can't
them.
be stern talkings.
No.
Like it has to be regular conversations, like conversations that you and I are having right now.
And I don't agree with that.
And that's when you
parenting.
get the motherfucking Menendez brothers.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what they got.
And that's what they got.
You
And that's
need-
exactly what they got.
You need discipline because you're gonna learn right from wrong. If it's just, oh, you know, you can't do that, and talking, and there's no consequences to your actions, you think, all right, someone's just gonna talk to me.
And that's the
Then
problem.
when you get out in the real world, there's no talking.
No.
There's either you getting your ass beat, you're getting arrested, you end up in jail,
Yeah.
or dead.
And all three of their kids are adults now, and one of them specifically is out of control. But
Different parenting skills.
yeah,
Different parenting skills. And
styles. not
I say that I was toxic and that I should have done things differently. But with that being said, none of my children have been in jail. None of my children have been addicts, and they all have their own lives, children, families. So, you know,
Somewhat successful.
somewhat. They need therapy. They need a lot of therapy, all of them. But
God, they do.
all of them. It's me.
Don't start talking shit because I'm not getting therapy.
But she needs therapy.
It doesn't matter if I need it or
I
not.
give her therapy every once in a while with my shrink.
I don't have time for therapy. I have too much to do.
I have her on the phone. I'm like, oh, so guess what? We're having a session today.
I have too much on my plate.
And my therapist is like, so Melissa.
I'm fine.
But yeah, again, and you have to, again, all children are different. All children are different.
And they are. Adrian and Dominic did respond to physical discipline.
I don't think they got physical discipline.
They did.
Okay. I don't remember them getting, my children were perfect growing up.
Everyone's children.
No. No. You don't understand. In my house, maybe not so much, but I took my children anywhere. And anywhere we went, if they would be like asking them, do you want something to eat or do you want something to drink? My children will not get something to eat or drink unless I okayed it or the father okayed it. And usually it was me, not the father. But they would be there like, you know. My children were amazing growing up when we were in places. They knew what to do. They knew how to behave.
Again, those are things that we disagree with. So, like, okay, Adrian and Dominic, I could take them somewhere, and they're not going to touch things, which is fine. I agree with that. They shouldn't be touching anything, especially if it's not theirs, and in other people's houses. But if somebody offers them a drink or somebody offers them food, I don't care if they say yes.
No, and I didn't care.
But you just put that fear of God in us that we were not allowed to say yes. And I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning was behind it.
It was a toxic thing.
I think it was just a power thing that because I said no, you're not going to agree or you're not going to say yes.
That you said no to what?
You, because you didn't want us to say yes.
No, because...
What was the reason that we were not allowed to accept drinks or food from somebody at somebody's house?
Because growing up, my mentality from my toxic parents, which I inherited, and it took a while for me to get out of that mentality, was you guys were children. It was not your choice. It was not your, you know.
But it still isn't our choice. They're offering it to us. So what's the problem with saying okay?
Because as a parent,
Yeah.
you couldn't make the decision. The parent had to
Yes.
make all your decisions.
Yes.
That's how, so for what I'm understanding, it was like.
But that's some kind of like Latin bullshit.
But you see, Adrian,
thing.
I've always, any of my kids, if we go to a friend's house and they're like, do you want something to drink? If they look at me like, can I have something to are you thirsty? Why are you asking me? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a different day and age now.
Exactly.
I just didn't agree with that.
And I'm telling
And again,
you,
and that's
it
why
was-
I changed it. There's things that
And again,
you did that I didn't agree with, and
I
that's
am
what
telling
and those
you,
are the things I changed.
looking back now, I think that was toxic.
It's
I think
ridiculous.
the child
I don't
is
know if it
allowed
was-
to drink and
I don't
eat
know if
or-
it was toxic, but I feel like it's ridiculous.
I think it was, but those are like things that you guys, people will be like, oh my God, those children you have your perfect children. And it's like when we, what's this, Mariah, the people that bought the house, those kids did not drink or get up or nothing unless the parents told them that it was okay to. And she was like, it looks like those kids get hit. They get beat because those kids were like little soldiers. And you guys were like that. And when you guys were growing up, I didn't like hit you guys like that. You guys got hit when you were older, but not when you were growing up.
I can't.
So
I can't speak to that.
it was
I don't
that
remember
fear of
before a certain time.
you were just afraid of the wrath, whatever the wrath
Wrath.
was, you know. But I don't think that's a good way to parent.
That's the same way, and I'll always say it this way because I think it's so funny. You always taught me to have an opinion and not keep my mouth shut unless it's with you. I am not allowed to have an opinion different from yours. And it's still a problem till this day.
I think you have opinions.
Oh, I have plenty of opinions. Now I don't care that you get mad at me because my opinion is different from yours.
But I may not agree with your opinion, but you can still have an opinion.
But you get mad.
Yeah, but then I get over it because it's an opinion.
Yeah, days later after giving me the silent treatment. Which has been a minute since you gave me the silent treatment, but still. Thank God. I never understood, as long as it was respectful, as long as it was communicated respectfully, I never understood the reason that Adrian and Dominic wouldn't be able to give their opinion.
Because as a child, they don't know how to express their opinion, and sometimes expressing their opinion could be disrespectful, could be seen disrespectful.
So you see a lot of things disrespectful that are not, because it's your point of view. But I've always told you, you've always had a negative point of view, not only with opinions, with everything in life.
I don't think
So
it's a negative point of view. Like, for example, the asshole scenario.
No. That was disrespectful.
No. Yes, the actual asshole scenario of the word coming out was disrespectful, but the whole thing to it was disrespectful.
Yes,
the
but
fact
he
that
made it disrespectful because he had an attitude the whole time.
But that's the point. If you have an opinion with an attitude, that is considered disrespectful. You can have an opinion and not have an attitude.
Yes.
Your children, unfortunately, have a mixture of your attitude and my attitude. So they're totally fucked when it comes to opinions.
No, because
Yes.
Adrian and Dominic have communicated things to me that they disagree with what I am saying, and they've done it in a respectful way.
You think it's respectful, but somebody looking at them speaking to you, it's like,
Again, you're
Sácalo diente.
going by the way that you are listening it through your ears, and you have a negative connotation of everything.
no.
Yes, because anybody, it doesn't even have to be said. If anybody does something, it could have even been by accident. Oh, they did it on purpose. They're just trying to get at you.
Not necessarily.
Yes, you keep on.
Because I have argued with you that they were not doing something, and you argue yes they were. In the same breath, it's been reversed. I've said, hey,
I'm
they're
not
being
talking about just
disrespectful,
them.
and
This is how you view life.
No,
Yes.
I don't know.
Everybody is out to get you. That is how you view life.
I don't think everybody's out to get me.
I think it's mannerisms, like their delivery. Sometimes I listen and I hear, like I know what their message is, but their body language and their
And that's
facial
what I'm
expressions
saying.
is like, if that was me
So
as a
you
kid,
killed-
I would have got my ass kicked.
Exactly.
okay, but us as kids, it didn't matter what the delivery was, the fact that we had an opinion or the fact that we had something to say back to whatever's being said to us, we would have gotten in trouble anyway.
I get that, but what I'm saying now is with
yeah.
them, when they come to you with something, and I speak with my hands, and sometimes people see it as disrespectful. Sometimes the kids will speak like they're real loose with their mannerisms in their mouth, and
Or they'll be like,
there's no filter, and it
But
to
why?
me is like, all right, you need to tone it down because this is your mother. Like,
exactly.
this isn't a friend. This isn't a buddy in the street. This isn't a girl at school. This is your mom.
And that could be true too. Half the time, I'm not even looking at them when they talk to me because I'm
And that's
doing
a problem.
something else.
But that's a problem.
I don't stop to turn around and look their way. They're
But that's
talking
a
to me
problem.
and I'm in the middle of something and I'm multitasking. And so it could be very true that their mannerisms are that way. But from what I am hearing, I don't hear attitude in their voices. Is
But you
what
have
I'm
to see
saying.
more than just their voices. You got to see more than just their voices, because
It's not always
like
that
day,
easy.
the day in the garage, I said something to Adrian, and he rolled his eyes. That's disrespectful, and he got that from us because
Oh, I roll my eyes constantly.
we roll our eyes all the time to everybody.
You did right. You roll your eyes.
But that's disrespectful. And then the way that he talks, if you tell him to do something, he'll be like, I did it. I'm like, sir, excuse me, you know?
So, and
Or
especially
and you call him, he'll be like, what? Oh,
And
okay.
especially with
What
Adrian.
did you say?
Adrian is very monotone.
He looks irritated 24/7.
He
Yes.
is irritated 24/7. He is irritated 24/7.
Which goes back again to Adrian's gonna be my problem.
Like we'll have conversations in the car, and
He's
he's
bothered
fun.
that you're talking to him.
That sometimes he opens up and he's cool, like great. But then there's other times like, all right, I don't even want to have a conversation because he looks like he's pissed off.
But that's his
I don't
face.
even-
No, he is irritated that he has to people with us. Or the fact that he has to do anything with the family. Oh my God. He is like anti everything right now. He's a teenager. I understand that. I didn't have that with my kids, but I get that. Again, you need to break them. And I say that in the nicest way. I'm not the parent, so I'm not going to do it, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I see him going, postal one day when he gets older.
I don't think it's gonna go that far.
I don't know. And then the other one doesn't know when to shut his mouth.
No, that one does not know how to shut up.
It's like, dude, I'm not asking for your opinion.
And it's
I'm
not-
telling you something.
It's
Shut
not
up.
so much that he doesn't know how to shut up. He doesn't know when it's not a joke. Like when we're not playing. Like when are we?
When you should be serious and when you should
Exactly.
play.
That's the thing. You guys have to find that balance of being not their friend. Don't be their friend.
No.
I'm not my kid's friend.
You got to be their
No,
parent.
and that's
You have to
what
be
we
there,
were
but
saying
they-
earlier while you were outside.
I think they can't tell because the way you guys communicate with them, they can't tell if you're buddy or if you're a parent.
Yeah.
They
No,
know
and
your
then-
mom, but they don't see you as
They
a
don't see
mom
the
all
line.
time. Yeah, they dance on it too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
can't do that.
And then that's when they get in trouble because yes, I know that I created that environment or we created that environment. But then when they go too far, then they get in trouble and they don't know that they went too far until after they get in trouble.
But you gotta stand your ground, right, Mimi?
You
a
have
day
to-
punishment is not good. Go ahead, tell them that story. Back to the asshole story. A day punishment, though. I'm going to take a shower. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
You gonna give me a kiss?
No, you can't.
And it goes back to, I don't think while they're growing up that you should be 100% their friend.
No,
I
and I
think you
agree.
should be a parent first and their friend second, not a friend first and a parent second.
I agree.
And I think you should set boundaries, and I think you need to give them responsibilities. And that's, and stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Because at the end of the day, you're only hurting them
Yeah.
and yourself. And when they get older, they're going to have excuses for everything. It's never going to be their fault. They're not going to take responsibility for anything because they're just making excuses. And they're going to get in trouble. And then they're going to blame you for it. Oh, you didn't parent me correctly.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't do this. I had, one of you tell me, you should have been stricter with us. It's your fault that, I'm sorry. What? Okay. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's my view on parenting. And there's no right or wrong. Everybody does it how they want to do it. And good luck.
And like she said, everybody has their own parenting style. And we're nobody to tell you how to parent.
No.
The same way nobody tells me how to parent or how to parent.
It's an opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
But
But that is that.
and that's it for today. We'll be back.